The Soren pack lined the concourse like a ceremonial wall. Tall, lean predators wrapped in matte gray armor plates. Armor that looked grown, not forged. Their throat frills were lifted in a rigid fan, a dominant signal to anyone foolish enough to meet their gaze. Dock. 12 of Relay Station Kestrel was cold enough to sting the lungs. Frost clung to the metal seams where warm air leaked from the habitat ring. Freight. Captain Rena Voss watched through the cockpit glass of her patched-up hauler, the Tin Cricket. The pack assembled for departure. They moved as one. No wasted motion, no softness, and at the far edge of the loading zone. Beneath a flickering hazard light sat 2 pups. Small, too small. One had a pale streak running from jaw to shoulder, an off-color marking the Soren considered shameful. The other held his right foreleg close. The joint slightly angled, like it had healed wrong. Neither wore a collar tag. Neither carried a pack insignia, just 2 bodies pressed together for warmth. Ears flattened, not in fear, but in exhausted stillness. The stillness that comes after hope is drained out. Rena had seen that posture before, not on alien docks. Not at first, on Earth, behind a shelter fence. When unwanted animals were dropped off with a note that said, "Don't call us." The pack leader stepped forward, massive even among Soren. Scar lines crossed his muzzle like pale lightning. He paused in front of the pups, long enough to let them feel his shadow. The streaked pup's nose twitched. He did not run. He did not beg. He just waited. That was worse. Rena's pilot, Jace, leaned in beside her. "Captain, you seeing what I'm seeing?" Rena did not take her eyes off the concourse. "Yeah." Jay swallowed. "They're leaving them not leaving," Rena said, discarding. The leader turned away. No dramatic snarl, no ritual. No farewell, just indifference. One by one, the Soren filed onto their carrier shuttle. Boots clicking with the confidence of those who believed the universe was built to make room for them. The engine spun up with a rising whine that vibrated the glass. The pups flinched at the sound, but they did not move. The shuttle lifted off. Heat washed over the concourse in a shimmering wave. The pack, an entire life, an entire identity, rose into the void. The pups stayed. Rena's hand was already on the release, latched beside her seat. Jace blinked. "Captain, delay the unload," Rena said. "Tell Control we're holding for inspection. That'll cost us docking priority," Jace said. Rena kept her gaze locked on the 2 small shapes under the hazard light. "Then it costs us docking priority." JSE hesitated, then nodded. "Aye." The airlock cycled with a hiss. The station's chill snapped at RNA's face as she stepped out. Her boots rang across the metal plating. Too loud for a moment like this? The pups heard her. Both heads lifted. Pupils slitted and bright, like polished amber. Predators, even broken ones. Even tiny ones. Rena slowed down. Stopped several paces away. "Palms open, empty hay," she called. Voice calm. "I'm not here to hurt you." The streaked pup's nostrils flared. The injured one leaned closer to the other, shoulder pressed tight. Rena lowered herself to the deck, slow and careful. She sat cross-legged, like she was waiting for a bus. "Rough day, huh?" No response. Just staring. Rena nodded, like silence was an answer, and she respected it. "I saw them leave." The streaked pup's ears twitched. The injured pup made a soft noise, half breath, half warning. Rena did not move closer. "On my world, we're not great at a lot of things. We make a mess. We argue. We break stuff that did not need breaking." She tilted her head. "But we have this weird habit." The streaked pup blinked once. "Slow, if something gets thrown away," Rena continued. "A human usually picks it up. Not because it's profitable. Not because it's easy. Just because it's wrong to leave it there." The injured pup shifted. He was shaking, but he did not back away. Rena reached into her jacket slowly. She pulled out a sealed protein bar. She placed it on the deck halfway between them, then slid it forward with 2 fingers. "Food," she said. "No trick." The pup stared at the package. The streaked one leaned forward to sniff. then paused, glancing up at Rena like he expected a sudden strike. Rena lifted her hands again. All yours. The injured pup nudged the bar closer with his nose. The seal crinkled under his teeth. He tore it open with a small snap and took a bite. His eyes widened. Not fear this time. Hunger, yes, but also shock. The shock of being allowed to have something without paying for it in pain. Rena exhaled slowly. There's something else you should know. She pointed back toward her ship. Docked like a stubborn insect, clinging to the station. That crate of bolts and bad decisions, that's my home. It's not pretty. It squeaks if you walk too fast. The coffee tastes like regret. Jock's voice crackled in her cum. Captain Control is asking why we haven't started offload. Rena tapped her cum once without looking away. Tell them we found stowaways. Jace paused. Living? Rena's mouth lifted slightly. Very, she looked back to the pups. I need crew, she said. Not fancy crew. Just people who can watch corners, learn fast, and stick around when things get hard. The streaked pup's head tilted. I don't know what your pack told you, Rena said, but if they dropped you here, it means they decided you weren't worth the trouble. Her voice sharpened. Humans don't measure worth like that. The injured pup swallowed, then took another bite. Rena let the silence stretch, until the station lights hummed loud in the space between them. Then she extended both hands, not reaching to grab. Just offering, if you want, she said, you can come with me. Warm bed, full stomach. No one hits you for being different. No one leaves you behind because you don't match a pattern. The streaked pup stared at her, hands like they were a puzzle. Seconds dragged. Finally, he crept forward. He placed a small clawed paw against her palm, light, trembling. Testing the injured pup followed, slower. His bad leg made his movement uneven. His paw touched her other hand. Rena did not tighten her grip, did not pull. She held still until the shaking settled into something steadier. Okay? She breathed. Okay, we'll do this. 4 months later, the tin cricket was docked at a trade spindle near the rim line. Getting patched up for the 3rd time that quarter, the pups were no longer pups. Not really. They had names now. Ash for the streaked one. Because Rena said ash is not dirt, it is what remains after fire survives. And KERR for the injured one. Because the first time he tried to run, he fell. Then got up anyway. They were not much bigger than before, but they moved differently. Heads higher. Steps louder, laughing in short, sharp bursts at JIC's terrible jokes. Learning engine maintenance from Mara, the tin cricket's engineer. Mara swore like it was an art form. Ash learned to disable a security sensor in under 10 seconds. KERR could climb a cargo stack using one arm. And pure spite. Rena was signing manifest logs when a priority message pinged her console.sender. Pack leader. Vayer. Subject. Return of pack property. RINAS. Jaw tightened as she opened. The words were smooth and cold, formal, packed. With tradition and honor and reconsideration, Vayer. Cited old laws, pack rights, and correcting a mistake. Translation. We heard they're useful now. Give them back. Rena read it twice. Then stood up so fast her chair scraped, she found a Shirar in the cargo hold. Helping Mara secure a crate of medical supplies, Ash was humming badly. Kerr was arguing with a strap ratchet like it insulted his. Lineage.ash. Kerr. Rena's voice cut through the noise. Both turned. Ace's frill flattened. KERR's shoulders tensed, protecting that bad leg out of habit. Rena held up the message pad. Your old pack contacted me. The hold went still. They want you back, Rena said. Mara's eyes narrowed. Oh, hell no. Jayak appeared at the hatch, already angry. They can take a long walk out an airlock. Rena lifted a hand. It's not our choice. Ass's gaze flicked around the hold. At the ship walls, scuffed by years of work. At Mark's grease-stained gloves. At Jace leaning like a guard dog? At the medical crate they fought to secure for strangers at home. Kara's voice was quiet. What did you tell them? Rena's expression softened. Nothing yet. She stepped closer, not looming. Not crowding because you don't belong to me, she said. You never did. You belong to yourselves. A sob swallowed. They left us. Kerr's frill rose. Not fear. Something else. Something hard? They called us defects, Kerr said. Rena waited. Ash lifted his chin. If we go back, it's because they want what we can do. Kerr's claws flexed. Not because they want us. Rena nodded once. Yeah, a long pause. Then Kerr leaned forward slightly, eyes bright. Tell them. He glanced at a chef's. Mouth twitched. Not quite a smile, but close. Tell them, a chef said. That we already found a pack, Kerr added, voice sharper. A better one. Rena felt something in her chest loosen. Like a knot she did not realize she carried, she turned to Mara. Prep the outbound. We're leaving in 2 hours. Mara grinned. Gladly, Rena typed a reply to. Bare, short, clean, unmistakable. No, you discarded them. You don't get them back. Your loss. Our gain? She hit send. In the cargo hold, Ash and Kerr went back to work. Kerr fought the strap ratchet again. Ash bumped shoulders with Jace, like it was the most normal thing in the universe. Their laughter echoed against the tin cricket's walls. Small sounds, but real ones. Rena stood in the hatchway and watched them. The galaxy was full of things. That got thrown away. Humans had a talent for picking them up. Not because it was easy, because it was right. Asterisk, subscribe right now, because the next story is even crazier. Like the video. It tells YouTube to push this hard. Share it with one friend. Let them feel this twist to comment, one word. Pack if you want more HFY. Channel name is Neon Cub Tales. Join the pack today.